Overwatch 2 teased a huge update and major gameplay changes that are going to be revealed in an Overwatch 2 spotlight that will be streamed in about 2 weeks from now on February 12th. Today we actually got a blog teasing and kind of giving us some insight onto some of the stuff that we're going to be getting with the next season for Season 15 of Overwatch 2. A lot of major changes and some stuff being teased, like 6v6 not returning anytime soon, new weapon variants for ranked competitive points, major ranked changes, and some new heroes and that type of thing. So we're going to kind of talk about what we're going to be getting. Season 15 is looking like they're actually going to shake up the game and hopefully actually light a fire under their ass and actually get out from under the rock they've been hiding under for, I don't know, like 2 years now because of Marvel Rivals absolutely slaying them over the last 2 months and everybody hyping up Marvel Rivals and Overwatch being cast to the wayside. Now they actually want to light a fire under their ass and actually start giving us content, which is great. So I'm going to be discussing a director's take today, which actually they threw up earlier today, about a few hours ago, at least we're recording this. You guys will probably be seeing this either tomorrow or on Sunday. So by all means, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think for Season 15 that the game really needs to kind of make a comeback and to kind of compete with Marvel Rivals? Or at least something to put on like an even playing field and kind of bring some people back to the game that were taken away by Marvel Rivals, or at least try to make people to possibly return. I'm not sure what they can really do, but we're going to talk about it. Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe. Not going to be too much on screen. If you guys want to read this blog yourself, it is live on the Overwatch Blizzard website right now. So if you guys want to read it yourself, by all means, go ahead. I'll probably throw some gameplay in the background, and you guys can just have out and listen to me talk if you'd like as well. That'd be great. But I'm not going to read the start of this, so I'm going to save some time. There's like 2 or 3 paragraphs here that are just like an intro to this, which I'm not going to talk about very much because it doesn't really say much. We are pretty happy with the new direction of competitive play. The game is now approachable for new players, and it's easier than ever to group up with your friends and play in competitive. This approach to doing a ranked reset worked well and gave players, both new and seasoned, a new skill tier to reach, which is not true. I do not think the ranked reset that they did a few seasons back, I think it was like season, what was it, like 9 or 10, they reset the ranks. I don't think that reset did anything at all. Most people that I know, including myself, were literally the same rank or way lower than we should be. So the reset was a fail. I don't know why they're saying it worked well. It was a failure. That's just cope. They're coping. Champion has proven to be a little bit too difficult for our top players to achieve. As we approach Season 15, we're looking to adjust how players rank into different skill tiers after reset the ranks again. So for Season 15, we're going to get yet again another ranked reset. That's going to be fun. I see shit written all over the fucking wall with that one because that's going to be a major fail. Holy shit, that's going to be bad. Our highest ranks will shift into include a larger percentage of our total player population, and we will see more players earn the right to call themselves champions. We're also looking to introduce some new systems to our competitive play, which will first be announced in a few weeks, which I'm assuming is in the spotlight. What they're alluding to here is hero bans. This is the first major thing I kind of want to talk about. I think hero bans are fucking a huge cop-out and probably the laziest shit they could do. All hero bans really say is that the people that are balanced in this game have done nothing but fail at their job the last 2 to 2.5 years of the entirety of Overwatch 2. So now they're at the point where they're just giving up and they're giving us hero bans. That's what I see it as. It's a cop-out for bad balance and them not doing their job for the past 2.5 years. Why are they still employed is the main thing I'm asking. Why is Alec Dawson and Aaron Keller still employed if they are the 2 people that are in charge of the balance of the game and they've missed the mark and failed miserably non-stop like 99.9% of the time over the last 2.5 years of the entirety of Overwatch 2 so far? Why are they still employed is my first question. And the other question is, this is going to suck for the people that just one-trick stuff. The main issue with hero bans is you make the game unplayable for people like me and there's a bunch of other people that just main one hero out of a role. The main two heroes I play 99% of the time, whether I'm playing tank or DPS, are Venture and Roadhog. I am a tier 150 almost prestige Roadhog player on Switch, and I think I'm like close to tier 40 Venture now, I think. Prestige with both of those. If I'm playing tank, the only thing I play is Hog. And if I'm playing DPS, the only thing I want to play is Venture. I can play some of the other DPS, but I'm not really that good at them, like Junkrat and Reaper and stuff. But like, I feel like if I play them, I'm just using brain dead garbage. I want to play Venture. She's my favorite DPS for a reason. She's really fun to play. Like, support's a little bit different because I don't really play a support as much, and I can play a lot of the supports. They're all kind of the same, or at least the ones I play, like Kiri, Ana, and just a few other ones. But like, mainly for damage and tank, the one-trick players like me, if there is bans being introduced, depending on the ranks, I'm assuming it's going to be for every rank, from bronze all the way up to the highest tier of play. Somebody like me that plays tank, if they ban something like Roadhog, and being that it's the only tank I play, then I'm automatically screwed. What the fuck am I gonna do if the enemy team sees me on the opposite side, sees me that I have the Roadhog title, that the Epic Hog or whatever the 150 tier prestige title is for Roadhog prestige? Like, oh, this guy is a fucking Roadhog man. He probably only plays Hog. Let's ban Roadhog, that way he can't play anything. It literally exploits people. That's what it does. That's going to be another major issue with hero bans. People like me that only play like one thing out of a role, especially in 5v5, if the game's staying 5v5, are going to get exploited by this, and we are going to be fucked because people are going to ban what we play, and we're going to be forced to play shit that we don't know how to play. I can play some of the other tanks, but I am dog shit at every other tank in the game compared to Hog. I can single-handedly carry a goddamn match on Hog 90% of the time, as long as I at least have some team. And like, if I have to play some of the other tanks, I just usually lose most of the time. I'm decent, but I'm not to the point where I can carry a game by myself on any of the other tanks at all. So if somebody bans Hog, for example, at least in my case, like, I'm automatically just fucking lose most of the time. That's going to be the major problem with hero bans, and that's why I hate them. I think the game should not have hero bans. It's fine in Marvel Rivals because they have a way different game than what we currently have. They also have 6v6. We're in 5v5 currently, so it works a lot different. So I don't know. I just think hero bans, if that's what they're going to give us, which they're alluding to here, they're going to give us hero bans, is a terrible idea. The only people that like hero bans are your diamond tier and above players. Those are the people that really liked hero bans, which makes sense because you can actually ban stuff that's a lot more like good in those type of tiers, like Widow, and there's a few other things that are crazy in those tiers of play. You'd be able to ban those out and kind of diversify the play field a little bit more. That's why it's good in the higher tiers. But apart from like diamond tier and above, it is garbage for everybody else. It's actually a drawback, especially the people that only one trick or play one thing out of a role. Like me, for example, I play Hog and Venture, and that's usually what I play 90% of the time. So like, we're fucked. Like, us people like this are fucked. So I hope there is not hero bans. And I hope if there is, there's some way to prevent from like your only hero being banned, the one hero you play the most being banned or something. I don't know how they would do that, but really stupid. Let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. I also think that rank should just be reverted to the SR system too. I think they need, if we're going to be getting an entire ranked reset, they should reset ranks entirely back to the SR system that we had in Overwatch 1. Why they ever got rid of the SR system is beyond me. One of the dumbest changes from going from Overwatch 1 into Overwatch 2. I don't know why they ever got rid of that. They won't bring that back, though. That's going to be too much work for them. That I don't think that'll come back. They'll give us hero bans, the thing that we don't want, apart from the pro players and the high-tier players. But the stuff that the majority of people want, which is the SR system from Overwatch 1, they won't bring that back, though. We've heard two primary complaints about 2024's competitive weapon reward, Jade weapons. One of the biggest criticisms is how Jade weapons variants are getting vaulted at the end of the season. Competitive weapons are intended to show your involvement in our competitive queues per year. As time goes by, you will have a different set of weapons based on how you play comp each year. Keeping competitive weapons limited to the year gives them the ability to tell that story. Some of you have been hoping for weapon skins that have a higher end look to it, so we've got something in 2025 that will be spectacular. So Jade weapon variants are going away for now. We've got some amazing weapon variant for you to collect this year that will be out of this world. So what this is people are speculating they're actually going to give us a new competitive point weapon variant. So instead of Jade weapons, they're going to give us cosmic weapons. Okay. Are they going to be as good as like a mythic weapon though? Like the major problem with this is the competitive weapons and the recolors they give you with competitive points that you can buy by playing ranked will never ever be as good as the mythic tier weapons that they keep introducing now for heroes. They're always going to be a rung below that, so they're never going to have their max potential and be actually valuable to most people. There's going to be an extra cosmetic that people buy because they play ranked. That's all it's going to really be. I actually think gold weapons are the most valuable. They actually look the best out of every single one we've got so far. Unless the cosmic weapons look fucking crazy good on like mythic tier weapon type worthy level, which they won't be, then the gold weapons are still going to be the best ones in the game. And those gold weapons have been in the game since Overwatch 1, so I think the Jade weapons look decent. Like, they weren't bad, but I don't know. If we're getting cosmic weapons for the competitive point type recolor shit for weapons, I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't care. I'm not a fan of the cosmic type theme shit, especially for an entire year. Unless it's like incredibly good, or if they're cooking something with like special weapon effects or something like that, which they won't give us. It's Blizzard. You guys got to be realistic. Don't get your hopes up for stuff like that when we're not giving them any money. If it's something for free, they're always going to give us minimum effort. That's the main thing we've learned over the years. Maybe they'll give us more effort now that Marvel Rivals has been kicking their ass, but I highly doubt it. I'm not going to get my hopes up for that. Additionally, we also love the response to drives and think it's a great way to end each season, which is why the final season of 2024 we're offering double the competitive points. So we will be getting double the next competitive drive. I think it's actually funny enough. I think February 13th. It's the weekend right after the Spotlight, actually. Not this week, but the week after. It's like next week. It might actually be Thursday, even. I think they actually extended it to be 4 days instead of 2. So I think that's when the next competitive drive will be. It's right at the end of the season for this one. So I'll try to be playing it. I know it's going to come down to how much time I actually have to play, though. We'll find out how it goes. So you guys know. Okay, now let's look at the heroes. The 3 heroes that we had this past year, 3 of the most mobile and dimensional heroes yet. I don't know about that. Our quirky and adventurous archaeologist Venture quite literally got underneath opponents and shook things up. Juno glided her way onto the scene, blah blah blah. And finally Hazard brought a new level of anarchy. Hazard was fucking garbage. By far one of the worst tanks they've ever released in the entire history of the game. That is the truth. He is fucking atrocious to play against. I hate him. I hate Hazard. He is a balancing nightmare. And they don't want to fucking balance him for some reason. He's been the best tank in the game now since the entire start of the season of Season 14. And they tried to nerf him twice already, and the nerfs have done nothing. Goes to show you how fucking broken he is and how badly designed he is. He's pretty much Malga. He's just a little bit of a different version of Malga. He's just a more active version that instead of just sitting there and holding down 2 buttons, you just jump at people and you dive on people and instantly kill them. That's what you do instead. We want to continue bringing heroes that can be engaging for both you using them and opponents playing against them. The only hero here that actually I think was a huge success was Venture. But Venture, for some reason, I don't know what people are going to say she's not popular for many reasons, because mainly she's boring in her looks, or she's not a big titty goth girl, or like that type of thing, at least looks wise, so people don't play her. She's not like the same thing as like a Kiriko and popular like that way with her design wise. I actually like her design. I like Venture's design a lot. I think she's a really good addition to the game. By far, probably the best DPS addition for the entirety of Overwatch 2 so far. And better than Sojourn for sure. So, if anything going forward, we need more DPS characters or more characters like Venture. I think that's what we really need. Less characters like Hazard. I don't think we should never ever get another Hazard ever again. Never make another Hazard ever again. Juno is okay. The main issue with Juno is she's awful to play against. She's really fun to play, and she's really cool, design-wise and everything like that. The main issue is she's just atrocious to play against. I hate playing against her. That's just mainly a balance problem, though, because she has way too much mobility, and I think her speed type stuff, like the speed ring and that type of shit, is just way too good. I think it's mainly a balance problem that makes her atrocious to play against, though, so that can be fixed if we actually get a good balance team. I don't think it's a problem with Juno kit-wise. Like, her kit's great. I think overall she's just poorly balanced. They fixed her ult. Her ult used to be the most broken thing ever. They finally fixed it to where it's actually balanced now. It took them like 4 seasons, but they finally did it. But overall, I think Venture by far probably the best new hero we've gotten this past year. Then Juno probably at number 2, and then Hazard was atrocious, god-awful. Fucking hate him. If we're going to be getting tanks going forward, so I think that what we really need with tanks is we need more skill shot tanks. We need more tanks like Hog, where he has an ability that's a skill shot and that rewards you for landing a skill shot. That's what we need going forward. Less brain-dead tanks, more tanks that are based around a skill shot like a hook. For example, like Roadhog or that type of thing. That's what we really need. One thing I would actually really cool, like give us a fucking tank that has like a portal that you can like drop people through. Like, so that would be really cool. Something similar to Marvel Rivals. Like, that's on like a 10-second cooldown or something. You can throw a portal out and like, it'll like teleport them closer to you or like knock them into your face, or they'll go through the ground and like drop down and take damage. Similar to like Janice from Smite. Something like that, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I think having like a portal like that would be really cool. Or like place it through walls, you can like walk through walls. Similar to like Alter from Apex Legends. Something like that would be really cool for a tank. I don't know if they'd be able to do that, though. I think that would be like really mechanically demanding. I don't know if they can actually create that. I'm assuming they could if they worked hard enough, but that's just an idea I have. I think it would be really cool for a tank. Like, some shit like that. That's what we really need. Less of Hazard, less of Mauga. Or Mantra is okay. Like, Chunker Queen was good. Like, I think she's one of the better, newer tanks, but apart from that, I don't really know. Most of them have been garbage. What else do we have? We also ran our first 6v6 events for the past last year and early this year. We took from the forum from 6v6 roll queue and min 1 max 3. The roll queue accounted for nearly 10% of the play hours, which quick play accounts for roughly 35 to 40%, so there's definitely a demand for each mode with this team size, but it's still uncertain how large the demand is. We're going to run a mini competitive season of 6v6 starting in mid-season 15, so we're finally going to get a comp season for 6v6 now. See how that goes. It's still a little early to say what 6v6 places in Overwatch with a decent amount of people playing it, but it's probably here to stay in some form. But so far, we're not ready to make the swap to the core format, so we got confirmation that 6v6 will not be coming back anytime soon, or at least anytime this year, I'm assuming. So at the very earliest, if we do get 6v6 back, it'll be in 2026. There you go. I'm actually a person that actually thinks 5v5. It depends what they really want to do with the game. Overwatch mainly, I think, is better as a casual game. Mainly for like playing for quick play. I think competitive is a fucking atrocious, and I barely even play it anymore. Even this season, I barely played it. I'll play for the competitive drives and everything, but like, if there's no competitive drive going or like any other incentive to really play ranks, I don't even bother playing. I just play quick play. I think the game is better played casually and for fun than for competitive. If you want a competitive game like this, play Marvel Rivals. That's what the problem really is. Do they want to make this game hyper competitive and drive away all the casual players, which is the majority of the people currently that are still left playing? Or do they want to keep the game more of a casual game and try to bring people in that way to make it more of a fun, like, casual game and make it more around about, like, quick play and that type of thing? I think that's the way they should go, and I think 5v5 overall is better for just mainly for, like, your quick play and your casual fun type of game. That's what it really is. 6v6 is better for competitive, for, like, ranked and that type of thing. But if they want to keep the game more of a casual type game, I actually think the game should say 5v5. I really do. The only way 6v6 should ever come back, which they haven't done yet for some reason, is if they take the tanks from 5v5 and they put them into 6v6 with no changes. The main issue I've had with 6v6 for the 2 first playtests we've got so far over these past few months is tanks are too fucking weak. They die way too easily, and there's not enough ability to actually carry the game. You're too reliant on your team in 6v6, and being that there's another tank there, if your other tank doesn't do anything either, you can still try to carry, but being that you're also going against another team with other 2 tanks, it makes it so even if you try to carry your ass off as a solo tank, with no tank on your team, you just can't do it and it's impossible. At least with 5v5, I can carry my fucking ass off and hog in like 90% of my games and just roll my lobbies with how fucking good I am. That I won't be able to do that in 6v6. You can't do it. I think the main reason why is mainly just because the tanks are really weak in 6v6 and they die too easily. And they need to keep the kits the same way they are in 6v6. Shit like Hog changing or Risa. There's a few other tanks too that they changed kit-wise. They don't need to do that. They need to keep all the same kits from 5v5. Take the tanks as they are now and just drop them into 6v6. That's what we need. Keep everything the tanks have, keep all their kits, keep their health pools, keep everything, the damage, everything. And just drop them into 6v6. That's what we really need. Will they do that, though? They won't. So that if they aren't going to do that, I think the game actually belongs in 5v5 until they decide what they want to make the game in. If they want to make it more into a casual game or go full on of a competitive game, which is Marvel Rivals is already doing. So I guess if you wanted to play more of like a casual game similar to Overwatch, you could play Paladins, but Paladins is a dead game pretty much, so nobody even knows of Paladins in 2025. Speaking of game modes, well, I think I might have skipped something actually. Oh no, I never did. Speaking of game modes, we want to take a moment to expect for Clash in quick play and competitive. This last year, we introduced Clash, which is probably the worst game mode they've ever introduced. Biggest waste of time on a new game mode ever, when they could have brought back 2 capture point and 2 CP could have came back. Biggest waste of time ever. Huge fail. Another huge fail from this past year, which was Clash. Inspired by original assault maps, but give some players a chance to attack and defend, blah blah blah. All you guys need to know is for Season 15, Clash is going to be removed from competitive play. Hallelujah. Why this was even in competitive play to begin with is beyond me. Garbage game mode. I fucking hate Clash. I cannot stand it. It sucks. Goes to show you it's mind-boggling. They already had a really good format and a really good game mode called 2CP from Overwatch 1 that just needed a few different map reworks and a few small changes, and they could have brought it back into the game. And instead they just make an entire new game mode from scratch, and it flops miserably. Boggles my mind how people make decisions when they're making shit for the game this past year. Clash sucks. 2024 was huge, but I know 2025 is going to be even bigger. I can't wait to have the team share what main Overwatch 2 Spotlight on February 12th is going to have in store. So another thing here that I forgot if I actually even talked about it or not. I might have skimmed over it, but I maybe forgot about it. Looking ahead at 2025, we're looking into how we can add all heroes to make them more engaging and unique for players. This is something the team is wanting to change up, looking forward and sharing more soon. Did I mention that you're going to have to check out the Spotlight? So what this is This right here, y'all, is they're alluding to a new way to shake up the game. What this is passives, or like unique passives for each role that you're going to be able to choose like every single game, and like talents. So what this is they're taking a playbook out of Paladin's game and they're gonna fucking give us talents. That's what this shit's gonna be. Or like skill trees that you can level up throughout the match. That's what this shit is gonna be. I don't know if they realize, Paladins has had talents and this type of shit with like the loadouts since like 2016 already. Are they really that fucking stupid? What is that gonna do? I really don't know. What is talents and skill trees gonna do for the game? I think there's a lot more major problems than them having to give us talents and skill trees to try to shake up the game. Maybe if you just fucking balance the game, maybe the game would actually be in a good spot. Did they ever think about that? So not only are we going into 2025 with all this other shit, we are in 2025, y'all, where Overwatch 2 is going to look at Paladins and copy Paladins, y'all. Who thought that that would be the thing we're looking at in 2025? Copying talents and skill trees, aka loadouts, is what Paladins has, I guess. Pretty much the same thing in 2025. And so it's going to be like a skill tree, but what it really is, it's loadouts from Paladins. Why are we copying Paladins? I don't know. Is this going to do anything for the game? I highly doubt it. I'm not going to get my hopes up for this at all. I think Paladins does it the best, if I'm being real. Until they actually introduce it into the game and actually play it, and depending on what they give us, I'm going to go on a limb and say Paladins does the loadout system and the talent system way better than Overwatch will probably do it. Just because they've been doing it for since 2016 or whenever the game was created already. I don't know. I don't know why they're even bothering with this. I think that's a bad choice and a waste of time. So much other shit the game needs, and they're wasting their time on that. That's all we have here, y'all. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Kind of just wanted to do a discussion video for all the stuff we're going to be getting. I will be doing another video covering the Spotlight on February 12th here in about a week and a half. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, if you are new, subscribe. That'd be great. I also stream over here usually Friday and Saturday nights. I stream Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, Warframe, a bunch of other stuff over here usually on Friday nights. And I stream Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, competitive, usually on Saturday nights, Wi-Fi battles and that type of thing. So if that interests you guys, subscribe. I also stream on Twitch once in a while. Link to that down below. Link to my X also down below. Go check that out. Apart from that, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about everything we talked about. Peace out, everybody.